Peace, what's going on, y'all? It's your man, Soul Man IT. Welcome and welcome back to the channel and to the vlog. Man, pull up a seat. It's gonna be, this is gonna be a second. Now, I'm sure y'all done seen the title of this here video. And I wanna talk about, do we ever value ourselves enough to think that we are worthy of being upgraded? Me being the media tech guy, or as my man Tuffy called me a long time ago, the multimedia Swiss Army knife. And especially when you're coming up in hip hop, right? Say it like that. I got into hip hop when I was 14. So we're talking about 2001, right? And I had heard hip hop before then, but like I wasn't a practitioner, like how I can say I am today. I wasn't an MC, wasn't even really adjacent other than like the R&B cuts of that time that would have a rapper or two on there. And, you know, my parents would listen to R&B, would listen to like Temptations, Phoenix Rising, shout out to the Temptations, it's one of my favorite R&B albums. Listen to Boys to Men, like you'd hear it in certain cuts, certain jams, certain albums. I'm saying all that because at the time when I got into hip hop, you was making beats, you started making beats or being able to make beats around that time off of your laptop. And Ninth Wonder was the first one to show us how to do that with FL Studio. Why is that important to this video? Well, let me tell you. This past Saturday, we had the Shadow Lounge reunion, 25th anniversary, the birthday of the Shadow Lounge. We was all able to come together as a family. Shadow Lounge is very important to Pittsburgh hip hop and just Pittsburgh music, Pittsburgh culture, just the scene itself. And it closed its doors 12 years ago, back in 2013. And we were able to do a block party, really great, really dope event. I vlogged that entire event, put all the footage on there, Saturday midnight going into Sunday, right? Sunday morning, put all the footage from the phone here and all that onto my laptop. And my laptop crapped out on me. It's playing Spotify, next thing I know, Spotify stops, and I look over at the computer and it's booting up in the BIOS menu. Won't go any further than that. And I'm like, what's going on? I'm not registering, I'm not putting it together. And then slowly I'm starting to realize, uh-oh. And basically, I'm assuming my laptop overheated, it shut down, and in the process, it wiped its Windows operating system off the computer. So I had no way of booting in, and if I were to put Windows on there, it would clean wipe all my files, including the Shadow Lounge reunion vlog, as well as the B10 workshop and anything else I've been working on that I hadn't moved to the 8 external hard drives that I have right now. Cause that's hip hop, baby, and we've been making beats like this for Let me show you the type of system I've been working with for at least the last decade or so. For the last decade or so, I've been working on a laptop hooked up to a MIDI keyboard of sorts to just do all the things you've seen me do. And now, because I'm into video editing and gaming, I needed a gaming laptop, right? That could do all this cool stuff here. Needed to have the AMD chip inside of it, and then the GeForce NVIDIA RTX graphics card, right? But the way I had to explain this to my colleague, which I think is a great way to explain this, I have been using this here, which is basically a hoopty in the sense of things, and I need an 18-wheeler. So now I'm going to Best Buy to get this joint right here. Got the last one that's in the store. So this video is about, yeah, you should back up your stuff a bit better and all that. This is the second year that I have not received an eviction notice. I have not received my lights getting cut out, nor my gas being cut out. Because I've been asking for the money for things that I do. And I know my worth, and I know that you could get the same service in this city and abroad and be paying 10 times more for less than what I offer. And a lot of times when you're coming from hip hop, or you coming from hip hop, something hip hop adjacent, or just impoverished is really what I'm getting at. You think that you ain't worth it. You think that your skills and what you're able to do as a one-man band, a one-woman show, like, you think you're not worth it because you're not at the corporate or agency or whatever group level you think you have to be at to be able to command a higher dollar for what it is that you do. And you can internalize it in a way where you just, you don't think that you're worth enough, and then you don't think in turn that you're worth the upgrade, to be upgraded. So I am grateful and thankful that the clients I do have do feel that I am worthy of that. So again, today we're gonna head over to Best Buy. We're gonna cop our new computer tower, our new monitor. We're gonna change this desk area up, clean it up, make it look like someone lives here professionally and works professionally from home. And I'm hoping this process inspires some of y'all out there that you can chase your dreams, that you are worth it, that you are valuable, that you do have to put in the work. This isn't just stuff that just gets handed to you, but you are valuable of an upgrade. And when you have to upgrade, you should upgrade. Don't put it off. This situation here, I did it to myself. But I also recognize that I'm giving myself a little bit more grace than I would ever really give myself in my life, hence what led to my depression and albums and such, to just understand why I wasn't always in a rush to upgrade. And it was just like, okay, I know I need to upgrade, but like, who got $1,300, $1,500 for a computer? Hey, over here, over here. It may not be easy, but it doesn't mean it's impossible. Shout out to my parents for always struggling and striving to get me to believe that. I love y'all. So on that note, let me go order this Lyft so I can get my behind over to Best Buy and bring this back home and we can get to work on this thing. Let's get it. All right, y'all. We are back home. We are here in the crib. We have put this behemoth together. Check it out. Look at this new big old screen, man. I can finally put my hard drives in a space, but there it is. There it is with the second screen. We gotta hold up. Let me back up some. Let me back up some so y'all can see the station. Take a look at the new station, y'all. Welcome. You have now entered into the zone of the FAF Enterprise, Stargate 1479, Captain's Log. Oh man, Allah is merciful. Man, I am super geeked and looking forward to what I'm able to do with this here. When I get a chance to sit down and collect my thoughts and get my recording stuff back in order, then we will talk about what we were talking about earlier, about the value of ourselves and how you're worthy of being upgrading yourself. All right. So when I first started making this vlog, I thought, like, when I said, you know, we're going to settle down and we'll come back to this, I thought that meant like a couple hours later, maybe a couple days at the most. It's been 2 weeks. It's been an awesome 2 weeks. When I had taken this footage initially, it was on July 2nd. At the time of this recording, it is now July 17th. So literally 2 weeks and a day have gone by. I've had my birthday since then. Happy birthday to me. I've had another show since then. And I think that it was good to be able to do that, because then I can like actually tell y'all what it's been like working on what I call the mothership now versus working on, we'll call this the X-Wing, the old laptop. Because as much as like I got mad and I'm frustrated or was frustrated with my laptop, I can't really knock it. Again, the easiest way to say what I was doing was I was doing what you should do with an 18-wheeler with a hoopty. Like, or in other words, it was doing a lot of heavy lifting that it had no business doing because of me. Like, I was the problem in this. And like, that was the whole purpose of wanting to make this video and hoping that it helps someone, because again, we're so used to using the bare minimum to make some stuff in the general sense. And then if you're a black creative techie artist like me, in some cases you're taught, no, we got to struggle when we do this. You got to use the bare minimum. You got to show those who are entitled and overprivileged and don't have to work for damn near anything. You got to show them up. You got to prove them wrong. And to some degree, I do agree with that. Like, I can't hold you. Like I do agree. And I think it's more the competitive side of me that's like, yes, we have to show them. But then on the other hand, it's like, all right, so I'm showing other folks all the time, but what am I showing myself? What do I have to show for myself? That's where it really started to get heavy, where it really starts to hit deep. It twists, it sticks, in a way that a blade does. And you get to this weird place of feeling like if I'm not struggling, then it's not of value. It's not worth it. It's a weird relationship with it, because on one hand, there's some truth and reality to that. Like, you're going to struggle in this life. You're going to struggle in this world. What you hope to find is through that struggle, you appreciate what you have, right? Because in a lot of cases, if you don't struggle for something, how do you really know the value of it? If everything's just given to you, right? If you take money, for instance, if you don't work for money, how do you really know its true value? Now, with that being said, or something like that being said, that only works within a certain context, because if you ain't being paid shit, then you're going to be working and enslaved to a system that oppresses you all your life for all your time doing that job or whatever, which adds another layer to it, because it's like when you get down these rabbit holes, you have to be really contextual. And without that context, it's very difficult to give yourself some grace and some compassion, to think straight, to figure out how can I get out of this situation. If you are in that situation of working a job or a position that does not pay you well and just keeps you on the bottom, it gets heavy real fast, man, real fast. And to try to bring it back to a lighter note, I'm just grateful. I even got chills as I'm saying this, man. I'm real grateful for what I have, what I've been able to accomplish. I could not do this without the Most High, and what the Most High has allowed me to have and how He has allowed me to have it. This Asus laptop right here, I've had this joint since 2023, and I was only able to get this because of a BTAR grant. Shout out to the ladies of BTAR. Up until getting this, I've been working on a $100 laptop that I got out the Goodwill off the craziest humbug. And then the other laptop, the HP laptop I got from Staples. This laptop, that was the gaming PC that would record and stream at the same time. And then I'd have this camera that y'all are watching me on now. It would be hooked up to the HP laptop that used to be right here. And that's how I would run my setup. This new setup, I'm only able to afford because of my new client. I ain't trying to blow their spot up, because I don't need y'all running to them and be like, yo, where's the money at? Where's the money? No, you don't have a problem with me. But in all seriousness, I do think if I didn't have those financial breaks like that, where would I be? And keep in mind, in both cases, in both instances, these are Black women that are putting me in this position to do better. They were also some of the same ones that were saying yo, you worth more than what you putting out, right? Had I not gone to them, I would still be selling at the same price point that I was selling at. Keep in mind, it was just last year. I was in the ER twice. I weighed 120 something pounds. I weigh 190 something now. I know y'all seen it in the videos. I had to get work done on my teeth. I couldn't eat. That's why I was skinny. I was also smoking and drinking at that time. I'm a year and 2 months sober. Why am I saying all this? Because we can get into these spaces, man, where we just feel like we ain't worth it. Where we feel like, what's the point? Some people call it depression. Some folks call it existential dread. Others call it F it. Whatever you want to name it, we all arrive at this same door, sometimes more than we'd like to admit. We don't like to admit that we just one grant, one paycheck away from giving up. But where I gotta take more accountability is, and that's why I said in the previous part of this vlog, I did it to myself, is because I did it to myself. The time where I was spending money on booze and bud, I could have saved that and put it towards, new equipment. There's mad different ways you can slice this cake and look at it and eat it. And me saying this and making this kind of video, I don't like watching videos myself of something that's just very, very one way. I don't have an issue with negativity nor positivity. I like a balance though. And I don't want to be so overly negative about the experience that it brings everyone's, including my own, energy and spirit down. But I also don't want to be so overly positive that it negates the harshness, the callousness of reality, because it's there. This isn't just about technology and your craft. This is about allowing yourself to grow, to stop associating suffering and the struggle with authenticity, to accept that you are worthy of high-end technology, smooth workflows, and peace of mind. And you ain't got to prove anything to anybody by remaining broke and staying broken down. So yeah, I upgraded. Not just my setup, but my mindset. And if you're watching this and you're doing the same, I just want to tell you, you don't got to keep struggling to prove you real. You already real and you're already worth it. You just got to see that for yourself. You just got to believe that and own it. Give yourself grace. Give yourself permission to be great. Just don't let that stuff go to your head and you forget where you come from and who you are, who you want to be. Seek out what's real. Seek out the truth. Learn to yield to the Most High, to the one that created all this, because that's the only thing and one that's worth yielding to. Understand what that really means. For some of y'all who've lived longer than I have, you already know it. For those of you who are younger than me that are watching this, you'll get it, hopefully. And on that note, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna get back to the mothership and beam up to the next job, the next project. I thank y'all for watching. I hope y'all doing well out there. And until the next one, Lord willing, it's your man, Soul Man IT. We out ski, y'all. Take it easy. Peace.